Hi, my name is Kristen Hoffman, and the book I will be reviewing is Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg. I don't have a physical copy of the book, but here's the cover. I had the digital version. Okay, Openly Straight is about a kid named Rafe who lives in Boulder, Colorado, and Rafe decides to move to an all-boys school in New England. And in his old town, he was known as the gay kid. And when he came out, his family was really supportive, and his parents became involved in PFLAG, which is Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. And he started talking at conferences about what he went through, and starts talking at different schools to kind of work with different kids and stuff like that. And he decides that he's tired of having that title, of everyone only knowing him as the gay kid. So he decides to go to this all-boys school, and there he decides he's going to be openly straight instead of being openly gay. So he goes back into the metaphorical closet and pretends that he's straight so that no one will see him with that title. And he ends up falling in love with one of the guys in the soccer team, and that kind of leads to the main plot of the book, is him struggling with his feelings for his friend and trying to decide if he should tell his friend that he's gay or if he should stay in the closet and keep pretending that he's straight. I really enjoyed this book. I think that the characters were written really well. All the interactions seemed pretty realistic. Like the guys on the soccer team, for example, they would all in the book just interact like the guys I've seen, or like I know my brothers interact with their friends, just like talking crap to each other and just like teasing each other all the time and making jokes and innuendos all the time and talking about school and teachers and girls and everything else like that. And it just seemed really realistic. And then when Rafe would interact with Ben, the guy he's interested in, it kind of seemed like that typical awkward high school crush on your friend type thing, where like you know how to act normal around them, but at the same time you don't think you're acting normal around them. So it just makes you act less normal around them. And it was just written really well and really realistically. The awards that this book got, it was nominated for the Georgia Peach Award. It didn't win, but it was nominated for that. And then it made several different lists for 2014, which is when it came out. It got on the YALSA's Best Fiction for Young Adults, the American Library Association's Rainbow List, which is just a bunch of LGBT-friendly books, and the Texas Library Association's Tasha's List. I think this is a good book to teach in high schools because a lot of teenagers are struggling with their sexuality. I know for me, I came out as bisexual when I was 14, and then I came out as gay when I was 16. And I could really connect with Rafe on that, because when I came here, it was kind of that struggle of, do I tell people, do I not tell people? Because in high school, that's all people really knew me as, just because I was one of the only ones. And I feel like, especially if you're at a smaller school, some of these students could be struggling with the exact same thing. And if they're trying to figure out how they should interact in their new town, or how they're even supposed to talk about their sexuality, like within their own school, I feel like this is definitely something that could help them, especially if it's like a struggle with like parents, or if you don't think your friends will accept you or anything like that. Because the more that the next generation grows up, the more, I guess, the more acceptable it'll be for people to talk more openly about their sexuality. And I think it's going to be a much more prominent topic in schools over the next couple decades. But I think for it not being as prominent right now, it would just be good to have a few options for students to read books like this in class. If they don't feel like there's very much representation in the books they're reading, they're not going to feel like they really need to read the books. Like if they feel more of a connection and they feel more of like personal interest in the books, then it will make them much more encouraged to read, and they'll feel much more wanting to read it. But yeah, overall I think this is just a really good book for young adults. especially, like I said, if they're struggling with accepting their own sexuality or talking about it. And I think it's relatable enough that teens would feel comfortable reading it, and it wouldn't be like a taboo type thing for them to read. And that's it.